Thanks for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and here's a beautiful, beautiful Jimi Hendrix concert poster from 1968, the summer of '68, probably Jimi's best and biggest year, certainly most commercial year. And this is very similar to the Merriweather Post Pavilion concert poster that you may have already seen on my blog from the day before. That one is Friday, August 16th, and this one is Saturday, August 17th. And besides the concerts following one right after the other, the similarity in the posters is obvious because Dale Beagley, my favorite poster artist, did both posters, and he was working under the direction of Durwood Settles, the promoter, who promoted both events. However, there's definitely differences in the posters as well. If I actually pulled this out for a minute at the end of the other blog just to show a really quick, little quick comparison. But interestingly, this had a daytime and a nighttime show. I should probably come in for a little closer look. There we go, back it up a little bit. Jimi Hendrix Experience, Vanilla Fudge, Amboy Dukes, The Soft Machine, and there's your times, 3 and 8. That's definitely an afternoon and an evening show at Atlanta Municipal Auditorium before naming rights started getting sold to sponsors. A little bit of editorializing there. Anyway, this is it's great timing in Jimi's career. I mean, in a couple of weeks, All Along the Watchtower would be released, which is probably my favorite Hendrix guitar solo of all time in there. And of course it's a Bob Dylan cover and his only top 20 hit, his biggest single. And following that, by just a short few weeks, would be the release of Electric Ladyland, his masterpiece album, I think most people agree, and just a killer, killer statement from the summer of '68. So wonderful, wonderful timing in Jimi's career. And then we have, as I said a little bit ago, Vanilla Fudge there below the Jimi. And they had their only hit at number 14 right now, a cover of the Supremes' You Keep Me Hanging On its way to the top 10, so that's nice for them. And then next to them you have Detroit's Amboy Dukes, and most of you guitar crunchers know that Ted Nugent was in the Amboy Dukes at this point. Well, he was the Amboy Dukes, of course, he was their guitarist and lead singer and stuff, and their only hit, Journey to the Center of the Mind, was peaking right now at the time of this show in the top 20, so that's pretty cool. However, if you went to the evening show, you didn't see the Nuge. The Amboy Dukes only played the 3 p.m. show. And then there's England's Soft Machine down there along the bottom, and of course they're a ubiquitous presence on Jimi Hendrix concert posters from this era. Now interestingly, there's an English group that did play but's not on the poster, and that would be Heir Apparent. And that's because they actually joined this Jimi tour starting with this very date. You know, they came over from overseas and then started August 17th, so they didn't even play at Merriweather Post Pavilion. And obviously they're not mentioned on the poster because this was probably designed 1 to 2 months ahead of time, and Beagley and Settles, and nobody knew exactly when, excuse me, which date, Heir Apparent was going to make it. So they're not mentioned on the poster. So interestingly, it's, you see a magnificent poster like this and you just think, oh wow, unbelievable to have seen the show. By some accounts, it wasn't necessarily Jimi's finest hour. There's actually a post-show, I don't know if it was between shows or after the second show, interview with him extant on the internet, and he's kind of dispirited. He was sort of complaining that the band flew in on an airplane and got to their hotel and had a whole 90 minutes of rest before they had to head to the 3 p.m. show. So he was saying, I'm tired, man, I'm very, very tired. And I believe it showed in his performance. And he was also complaining that audiences still a year later after Monterey Pop, were calling for him to burn his guitar and everything. And he felt like that's all they were waiting for. It's like with The Who smashing their equipment, they were waiting for Jimi to burn his guitar. And he happened to reveal these feelings on the very day of the show after these concerts. So that's a nice, interesting, insight into Jimi. But regardless, here we have, much later to this day, just the gorgeous concert poster as a souvenir. Again, an advertising poster made beautifully just to sell tickets, wasn't sold at the show or anything, and now collectors like myself just really covet having them. It's really a fun thing to have, because to think that they were not made to be sold and framed and kept forever, they were made to be thrown away after the show. Pure advertising, but done just beautifully and representing the greatest pop music ever made for many of these acts. So anyway, thanks for coming by, appreciate your time, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.